Hello, so it is October and I didn't film anything for my reading experience in September, so I figured that I should do it now. I didn't do it especially because I had a really rough month. It was very busy, very stressful. I also did go for a week to Croatia for a wonderful workshop for psychology. It was great. Very great experience, but of course I couldn't film myself there, and then I had to move out, and then I was preparing for my habilitation exam and the ending of my thesis. So I was very booked and busy. Okay, future me who's watching this video, probably, please do not get mad. I am trying to do my best, so I'm filming a wrap-up from what I read in the month of September. So yeah, the first book that I did complete on the month of September was None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I read this on my Kobo, and my final rating for this was 3.5 stars. I did not particularly love the book. I liked it. It was okay. None of This Is True is, and I'm gonna read the synopsis to you because I am not good at summarizing. Two girls, I need to summarize because it's too long. Jesus Christ. Two women meet each other on their birthday. They were born on the same year, same day, in the same hospital, and they become friends, and they start confiding in each other. And one has a podcast, the other has marital issues, so they kind of combine the two. So one of the characters starts making a podcast about her story and how she was groomed as a kid and everything that happened that led her to that point in life in which she wanted to make radical change. But of course, as you can read from the title and the author is a very renowned thriller author. It does not go smoothly, so a lot happens and not a lot happens at the same time. I was not particularly loving this book up until like 90%. Towards the epilogue, I started to really enjoy the twist and really enjoy the the story. But I do think that it's too late for me to start enjoying a book, because it's almost over. So not a great experience, let's just say that. The second book that I read in September was Small Boat by Vincent Delacroix. This is a French author who published this very short book. It's actually like 128 pages long, I think. And this is basically about something that really happened, I think, in 2021, November 2021. So basically uninflatable carrying immigrants from France to England started sinking, and apparently nobody did anything. The people inside the little boat started calling the respective helplines from France and England, and nobody acted on it. Nobody went and saved them, and so a lot of people died. Around 27 people on board died, and so basically this is about this. So it is both from the perspective of the helpline caller, and sometimes it goes into the perspective of people on the boat. So it was a very intense story. It was very moving, but at the same time, it being told by the caller, who refuses to empathize and refuses to see what she did wrong, kind of made the experience not very great. Let's just say that. I ended up giving this 3 stars just because it kind of left me with not really knowing how to feel about it, which is, it's weird, especially if it's something based on real life events. It's kind of difficult to give a rating to something because, yeah. So the third book that I finished in the month of September was The House by Michael McDowell. This is the third book in the Blackwater series. This series is, I've been reading one every month basically, and so it's stupid to even summarize it at this point, but it is a generational saga. It follows the story of this family, and it is a horror, so there is paranormal elements, and I really enjoyed this one. I feel like these books keep getting fucking better. Like, they're just so good. I did give this 3.75 stars. And I wrote, I have so much discomfort and uneasiness in my stomach right now because if there's one thing McDowell does best is punchlines. I think I gave the earlier one 4 stars, and this was slightly less, very slightly worse than the previous one. So that's why I kind of gave it that rating. But I really enjoyed this, and I love how McDowell just writes the horror parts and how he kind of teases the next book at the end. So overall, I'm just really enjoying this series, and I'm really happy that I'm flying through them. 4th book read this month was In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. This is a memoir. It's about being in an abusive same-sex relationship, which was very hard to read. It's very hard to review memoirs and things that happen in real life, but I really did particularly enjoy this piece of work. I gave this 4.75 stars. I did not give this 5 stars only because there were parts of the book that I didn't personally understand why they were there, because to me they didn't really tell me more about the story. They were just there maybe to like explain her as a person and her personality. I am not quite sure. It kind of caught me at a really particular time in my life, but it felt strange and weird to read about something so personal on a very specific date. I wish I didn't feel as connected to the story as I was, and that's why I think it stuck with me. But overall, I was very looking forward to reading this, so I'm glad that I did. The next book, 5th book that I read, so we're almost done. I also read In My Kobo. I feel like this month, this was my best friend, and I loved it. I'm really enjoying it. Unfortunately, I'm not reading as much from it this month because I've got some books at the library, so I'm kind of in a rush to finish those first, but I'm so excited to go back to this because it's just such a nice experience. I did finish The Darkness Outside Us. This is from Elliot Schrefer. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. So this is a story about 2 boys who get sent into a mission in space, and it is a LGBTQ romance, which I was very attracted by. Like, I first saw the cover on Goodreads, I think, and I was like immediately like, oh, I need to read this, because you barely see gay people in sci-fi anymore. I mean, not anymore, but like from what I know, it's just very rare. So I was very drawn to it, and I gave this 4 stars, which I'm kind of rethinking right now. Maybe, I don't know. It's just, the thing is, this is not a romance. You're not supposed to go in and expect a romance book. This is sci-fi. It's about space, and it's about how like things happen in space. Okay, and it sounds stupid, but it's just, this is full of twists. This is full of high stakes. It is crazy. It is crazy, and you would not expect this from a, if you're expecting a romance, which I was, honestly, but I was very surprised. I honestly gave this a 4 stars on the good side, because on the end I binged it. I was missing like a good chunk of the story, and I was like, okay, I'm never gonna finish this today. But then I started fucking like going crazy because the story was just like so catchy. And on the downside is because I didn't really appreciate the way the author wrote the characters sometimes. And if you read this, you would know what I mean by sometimes. Especially in part 2, I did not really like how what was the name of the character? Because his name was fucking weird. Kodiak. Yeah. I didn't really like how it was written, honestly. I think it was very kind of incoherent to how he was presented the first time, like in the first part. So, yeah. Yeah, didn't quite feel like a 5-star, to be honest, nor a 4.5. Sorry. And now for the last book that I finished in the month of September. So, this is The Long Walk by Stephen King. This is my first ever novel by Stephen King that I read. I did read Laurie, which is a short story, a couple of months ago, and not a lot happened. I enjoyed it, honestly. It wasn't bad. So this was my first introduction to him, and this is I chose this simply because I was staying at a friend's house whose mom is obsessed with King. She owns every single thing that he ever released, and I was looking for something to read, and they wanted to lend me a book to read. And so this has a movie coming out very soon, and it's quite short. It's like around 280 pages, and I was only staying for a week, so I didn't want to keep the book. As you can see, I kept the book, which I really need to give back. But The Long Walk, this is about 100 men who, for money, go into a competition in which they have to walk until they're the only one left, basically. They keep walking, they are refurnished with water and food, but they can't stop for anything. They can't stop for going to the bathroom, they can't stop to rest, they can't stop to sleep. So it is very psychologically interesting. It is very psychologically, it's more of kind of like, it's not, I don't know how I would put this into a genre, because it is not horror. It is mostly about like the human body and the human mind as well. So the premise was interesting. The premise was fucking interesting, but nothing happened in this book. I gave this 2 stars, by the way. Very disappointed. And I ended up with a feeling of meh. There were a lot of characters, and they were very well characterized. They each had a story, and they each had a personality that was different from the other. I really enjoyed that. But aside from that, I was so bored with this because nothing was happening, and when things did happen, they lasted for like 2 seconds, and then off you go. And like the fact that everybody's gonna die, because like if it's 100 men competing like with each other for money, but like they have to only be one, the other ones are gonna die because like they get they get penalized for like stopping 3 times, and then after the third you're gone, and so they're all gonna die. But it's like you this doesn't make you feel attached to any of them. And there was one of the characters that I really enjoyed in this, that when they die, it's just so underwhelming. I don't want to give anything away, really, but Stephen King really makes you know the characters for a long time, and so you would expect that when they die, like it's gonna be big, it's gonna be dramatic, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be hurtful, but it's not, and I really did not appreciate that. So, yeah. Overall, I really think that this month was great. Reading-wise, I was very full, very stressed, and I did not expect that I was going to finish 6 books, because sometimes, like, you're so caught up in your mind that you just, like, would rather do something else. But this was great, and I am very, very excited for October, because I am starting to use the library a little more. I'm excited to go back to my Kobo, and I'm excited because my book club is back in town, so I am really, really excited, and I cannot wait to document it all over again, which I don't know if I'm gonna do reading vlogs ever again because they are a pain in the ass to edit or something else, but something will happen. And I guess I will see you in the next one. Thank you.